The Green Revolution, taming the Sea of Death. In the northern reaches of China lies a vast expanse known as the Taklamakan Desert, a golden sea of sand stretching over 337,000 square kilometers. It is a place of stark, terrifying beauty, where wind and dust once swallowed every trace of life, earning it the ominous nickname, the Sea of Death. Formed millions of years ago, when the Tian Shan Mountains to the north and the Kunlun Mountains to the south rose up to block nearly all moisture from the Indian Ocean and Siberia, this basin became one of the driest places on Earth. The average rainfall here is less than 100 millimeters per year, almost 10 times lower than in California, a region already famous for its aridity. To put that in perspective, every square meter of this land receives roughly the equivalent of a single 500 milliliter bottle of water per week, far too little for ordinary plants to survive. In the summer, temperatures can soar above 40 degrees Celsius, while in the winter, they can drop below minus 20 degrees, creating a hostile environment where sandstorms strike without warning and without mercy. For centuries, northern China has lived with the consequences of this geography, battling an invisible enemy, sand. Each time monsoon winds swept down from the Gobi and Taklamakan deserts, massive dust storms would blanket the skies over Beijing, turning day into night. By the 1990s, the situation had become so dire that residents in the capital were forced to wear masks for more than 80 days a year just to avoid breathing in the fine dust blowing from the west. Faced with deforestation, overgrazing, and uncontrolled desertification, the government decided in 1978 to launch a century-scale counterattack. The 3 North Shelter Belt Program, known to the world as the Green Great Wall. This initiative is not merely a single line of trees, but a vast network of thousands of forests, windbreak belts, and ecological lakes stretching more than 4,500 kilometers from the Xinjiang Autonomous Region all the way to Heilongjiang Province. The goal is staggering: to plant 35 million hectares of new forest by 2050, increasing the country's forest coverage from just 10% in 1949 to over 25% today. It is considered one of the largest restoration efforts on Earth, a project built not with concrete or steel, but with determination and the green color of life itself. But how do you plant a forest in a shifting ocean of sand? The Chinese solution began not with heavy machinery, but with a humble material, straw. Across the burning dunes of western China, engineers devised a massive grid system known as straw checkerboards. From above, the land looks like a gigantic quilt of golden squares, each measuring about 20 by 20 feet, stretching all the way to the horizon. Behind this simple image lies a massive logistical operation. Millions of pounds of straw are transported hundreds of miles into the heart of the desert, where paved roads do not exist and vehicles often sink into the soft sand. Teams of workers, braving temperatures rising above 49 degrees Celsius with no shade in sight, dig shallow trenches and place bundles of straw into precise diagonal grid lines. This manual labor is grueling, yet essential. The woven pattern stabilizes the shifting dunes, slowing the wind and creating microzones where moisture can linger long enough for planting to begin. Once the grid is in place, mechanical augers drill small holes at the center of each square, and workers transplant drought-resistant seedlings like saxaul, desert poplar, and red willow. Positioned so their fragile roots settle just below the surface, these plants are shielded by the straw from the scorching sun. Over time, the straw decomposes, turning into an organic blanket that feeds the developing root systems, eventually evolving into a living network that anchors the dunes. Beyond biological solutions, China has also harnessed the very force that makes the desert so deadly: the sun. The Taklamakan receives over 2,700 hours of sunlight each year, ranking among the highest in the world for solar radiation. Along the Tarim Desert Highway, which cuts straight through the heart of the desert for over 300 kilometers, engineers have installed 86 solar-powered pumping stations. Each station hosts hundreds of photovoltaic panels that generate electricity to pump groundwater from depths exceeding 100 meters. This water flows through an underground pipeline network, distributed via drip irrigation to more than 200,000 trees lining the road. This system has transformed the Tarim Highway into the world's first carbon-free desert expressway. To optimize the ecosystem, the solar fields are elevated about 2 meters above the ground, creating shaded zones where plants like licorice and hawthorn can thrive in the cooler, moister soil beneath the panels. The technological ambition extends even further with the construction of massive concentrated solar power plants. In these facilities, thousands of heliostat mirrors are arranged in wide arcs, rotating to follow the sun's path and reflecting light onto a central tower. This concentrated energy heats molten salt to more than 540 degrees Celsius, producing high-pressure steam that drives turbines to generate electricity even at night, thanks to the heat storage capacity of the salt. It is estimated that building and operating a single 50-megawatt solar power tower in such a remote region costs around $130 million, a testament to the scale of investment being poured into these dead lands. The infrastructure connecting these green zones is equally impressive. The Tarim Desert Highway itself is a marvel, built between 1993 and 1995 to connect the oasis cities of Luntai and Minfeng. Constructed under extreme conditions with temperatures exceeding 50 degrees Celsius, the project cost roughly $260 million and required a complex foundation of gravel, straw mats, and geotextiles to prevent the shifting sand from swallowing the asphalt. Today, this highway not only links research stations, but serves as a gateway for a growing ecotourism industry, where travelers pay between $40 and $120 to join camel riding tours and explore a landscape that was once unreachable. After decades of relentless effort, the results are undeniable. Official data indicates that China has regreened more than 30 million hectares of barren land. In regions like Aksu and Kakeya, vast forests of walnut, almond, and poplar trees now stretch to the horizon. Scientists estimate that the frequency of sandstorms has dropped by 82% compared to the 1980s, and the number of dusty days in Kakeya has fallen from around 100 days to just 30 per year. The once dead lands now act as green lungs, absorbing more than 20,000 tons of CO2 annually. However, this ecological victory is not without controversy. As the numbers grow, so do the questions about sustainability. Many ecologists warn that monoculture reforestation, planting mostly single species like poplars and willows, leaves the ecosystem vulnerable. These fast-growing trees have short lifespans and are susceptible to disease. At one point, a disease outbreak wiped out more than 1 billion poplar trees across northern China, erasing years of progress. Furthermore, these trees rely heavily on groundwater, and prolonged irrigation in such an arid climate risks depleting the very aquifers that sustain them. Experts argue that for the Green Great Wall to truly thrive, the focus must shift from simply counting trees to restoring balanced ecosystems that include native grasses and shrubs. Despite these challenges, the transformation of the Taklamakan stands as a symbol of human resilience. It is a place where humanity has learned to turn sunlight into water and sand into forest. From the humble straw checkerboard to the futuristic solar tower, China has proven that even the sea of death can be taught to breathe again. The success of this project offers a powerful lesson. Nature can be restored, but only if we are willing to work in harmony with it, ensuring that the roots we plant truly belong to the soil beneath them.